And we're back again. This time we're doing the many-to-many relationship. On the by now very familiar diagram, we can find the many-to-many relationship between the category and the book. Many books can belong to the same category, and a book can belong to multiple categories, for example science fiction, fantasy, horror, and so on. In a relational database, this is handled using a join table, like this. It transforms the many-to-many relationship into two one-to-many relationships. So the join table is used to create pairs of category and books. Now, when implemented properly, EFC will conveniently create the join table for us, as we shall see, and from the C# side, it will basically be invisible. The way to configure this is with a collection navigation property on both sides. It will look like this. We say the book has many categories, and a category has many books. And once again, let's give this a go in Writer. As usual, I start by creating the new entity, this time the category class. It's pretty straightforward. There's only one name attribute here. Now, before getting to the relationships configuration, let me just set up the primary key. This was covered in an earlier video, but because I don't have an integer called ID, I need to do something extra here. So, over to the DB context. And I notice we haven't visited this class in a while. I'm missing a DB set here for the reviews. I have also said earlier that we don't strictly need all the sets, as long as we somehow make EFC aware of at least one entity class. In my case, that's the book, our starting point. EFC will then automatically discover other entities through the navigation properties. And as we have seen, we do get the correct tables, even though I don't have a review DB set here. But for convenience, I recommend adding the DB sets. Let me just do that for the reviews. And then the DB set for the new category entity. Okay, now back to the primary key. I override the onModelCreating method. And then define that the entity of type category has a primary key, which is the name property. Okay, away with the DB context, let's focus on the book and category classes and implement the navigation properties. First, a collection navigation property from book to category, and then the other way. Now let's open the terminal and create a migration, and then update the database. All done. And then, as usual, we open the database view to inspect the results. First, we look at the category table. It has the name attribute as expected, and it has defined the primary key, so no surprises here. Notice also that we have another table, the join table. The name of the table is by default just a concatenation of the two target tables, which are category and book. It has the two expected attributes, which are defined as a composite key. There are also foreign keys to book and category, respectively. This is exactly as we would do it ourselves if we were to do it manually. So the structure is as the theory for relational databases prescribes. EFC will then also help us interact with this relationship by doing the necessary extra joins for us when we implicitly request it. We will see this later on. And that's it for this video. We have one more video to go about relationships, so that's up next. See you there.